Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this evening? Welcome to the Alphabets Football Talk Show. I'm your host, Marcus the Alphabets. We're down to the last game, guys. We made it. We made it. But first things first, I want to welcome my lovely co-host, Steelers fanatic, the first lady of Rise Up, uh, Miss Ramona Die Hard Die. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm amped up. I'm amped up. Didn't think we'd make it. We're here. We started from the bottom. Now we're here. Thinking first off, thinking we weren't gonna have a season. Now here we are. Super Bowl week, Super Sunday, ready to go. So everybody, please like and share. Get up in here. We're gonna talk about this Super Bowl. We got what we got one more show after this for our first season. We made it through a season.
Yep.
You chartered me yet, Mona? You chartered me yet?
Nah, I'm gonna
Nah.
hang around a little longer.
Just let me hang around for a little bit longer. Okay. Um, like I said, welcome to the Alphabets Football Show with the Rise Up family. Get up in here. Make sure you're liking, sharing the show. Tag everybody, and here we go. Like to hear, here we go. So first things first, you know how we do it. We usually get our news and notes out of the way and talk about what's going on. As you know, all of the coaching vacancies, all seven of the coaching vacancies have been filled. And we had a, would you say unexpected? I would, I remember saying, even when he was drafted, that Jared Goff sucked. I remember saying that because I was there when I said, I've never been impressed with Jared Goff. He went number one overall. Jeff Fisher, he made the call. He pulled the trigger on it. He went number one, and then Wentz number two, and then Dak Prescott went in the fourth round. But it's happened. They pulled the trigger on it. The first big trade of the I don't want to say it is the off season for some teams. I don't want to say it's the off season. Some people's off season starts a little bit quicker than others. But as you all know, um, Jared Goff got traded to the Lions. Matthew Stafford got traded to the Rams. I'm wondering, and I just thought about this, Mona. I wonder if is this the first time two number one overall picks have been traded for each other? That just came to my attention.
Yeah.
Both of these guys were the number one pick. I think Matthew Stafford was the 2009 number one pick after the Lions went 0-16, and Goff was the 2016 number one overall pick. I'm wondering if two number one overall picks. Now I know first round picks have been swapped, but I don't know if in history, if somebody I know I got my statistician out there somewhere. Eric Manzuk, he's a statistician. He might look that up for you, or probably Ethan. Ethan would probably be probably more inclined to do that. But
You might be at work though.
yeah, Ethan, if you can check that out for me. But big trade. Basically, the Rams gave up their soul, their firstborn child, one of their testicles, and probably one of their kidneys for this. Look, I don't think that they have a number one pick. I don't think that they gave up their firstborn child and everything else. I I don't know. What do you think about this trade, Mona?
Well, I think that the Rams are going to be. I think they'll be better off. I think that Stafford with that receiving core and a defense that can get the ball back for him. I think they'll do well.
I mean, we've always known about Matthew Stafford. He has elite arm talent. Uh, I would dare to say he has had great receivers. He had Megatron. He's had guys like Kenny Galladay. Uh, but this wide receiver quarter he's getting now, he had Golden Tate. I mean, he's had good players. This will definitely be the best ground game he's ever had. When you look at Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown and the other kid that they got from Memphis, He's got 3 good running backs. He's got 2 good tight ends. You look at Gerald Everett. You look at Tyler Higbee, Cooper Kupp, Robert Robert Woods. He's got some. He's got There's no more excuses for him. And poor Jared Goff. You go from L.A. to Detroit. So good luck with that. Uh, I think the Rams are going to be a problem, but they ain't never going to see a first round pick for a while. So I guess down the road we'll be doing a show a couple of years down the road and see how this turns out. Will this be one of those Herschel Walker type trades? We'll see. So like I was saying, all seven of the vacancies have been filled with the NFL. Urban Meyer's coming out of the college ranks. Urban Meyer's coming out the college ranks, and a couple of unknowns. And we're going to talk about a couple of these. Urban Meyer, I'm really interested to see what he does, and we'll see. Like some of these guys, Robert Saleh, going to the Jets, and Dan Campbell, he's had a little bit of success. But I was really surprised with some. I was really surprised with some of these hirings. I'm interested. Everybody in the comments, who do you think made the best? I mean, Urban Meyer. We know the success he's had with Utah. When he was with Utah with Alex Smith and Ohio State and Florida with Tebow. But I mean, and we've seen some college coaches have success. But let's not forget. Nick Saban, for all of what we think about Nick Saban, when he was with the Lions, we saw what he did what he's done with Alabama, and what he did with LSU. But when he went to Miami, he sucked. So, it's totally different when you're dealing with grown ass men. It's different than when you're dealing with 18, 19, 20, 22-year-old, kids as compared to men with wives and kids and mortgages. But who do you think made the best hire as far as that, Mona?
Well, tell you who I think made the worst hire is the Texans.
I think that comes as no doubt. As you all know, Deshaun Watson has officially asked for a trade up out there, and I don't blame him one bit. I don't blame him one bit.
The one thing I will say is I love Urban Meyer, but I don't. College coaches coming up to be head coaches in the NFL doesn't usually turn out great. Not big names.
I mean, it's happened. Yeah, it's happened. I mean, you look at guys like Jimmy Johnson. You look at guys like Pete Carroll.
Right.
I don't want to say it's impossible.
But look at the ones who came up and then failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the reason I would like to say him. I think if someone had gotten the enemy.
Yeah,
I think that would have been probably the best pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with him. I've heard conflicting reports that he some of the jobs he didn't want. So
you want me to tell you what I think is going? You want me to tell you why he didn't take a job?
Why is that?
Because I think Andy Reid's getting ready to retire, and I think he thinks he's going to step right in.
I mean, I can see that. I mean,
that'd be a great pickup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're sitting behind Andy Reid and we have breaking news. Andy Reid's son was involved in a fender bender, and Ramona, you won a trivia yesterday.
Oh yeah, I did.
I didn't even know that. What? Wow! I didn't even. Congratulations! I'm just like finding that out now. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And I'll tell you what else. I also think that Josh McDaniels. I think he's waiting for Bill Belichick to retire because he's had opportunities. He had the opportunity to take that Colts job, And I think that if if Bill Belichick just decided to up and retire, I think Josh McDaniels. I think something was promised to Josh McDaniels. I think something was promised to him for him to get that job. So uh, I guess I got to roll with. Probably Urban Meyer has, even though he doesn't have you know NFL head coaching experience, he's still he's probably got the most skins in the wall. So like I was saying, this just happened recently. This is like breaking news. Andy Reid, one of his son, Britt Reid, is an outside linebackers coach, and he was involved in a big time accident. Where do you have more on that, Ramona?
I do actually. From what I could gather just by reading on it, the story reads that he was involved in a multi-car accident. He basically hit a Chevrolet Impala that had run out of gas, hit that car, and then proceeded on to hit the car of the family member who was there to bring them fuel for the Impala, a Chevy Traverse that actually had two children in it, a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. The driver of the Impala wasn't hurt, but there were injuries to the children, and the 5-year-old is in critical. I think it's the 5-year-old that's in critical condition. The 3-year-old or the 4-year-old was okay. The 5-year-old suffered life-threatening injuries, and a 4-year-old, also sitting in the back seat, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both children were taken to a local hospital, and then the Chiefs released their statement. The organization has been made aware of a multi-vehicle accident involving outside linebackers coach Britt Reid. We are in the process of gathering information, and we will have no further comments at this time. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved. Police said investigators were trying to determine whether the driver impairment was a factor in the crash, which closed 3 of the interstate's 4 lanes. Reid, the son of Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, has been on the Chiefs coaching staff since his father was hired by the franchise in 2013. Let's see. Reid pled guilty in 2007 to gun and drug charges stemming from a road rage dispute, which included carrying a firearm without a license. He was sentenced to 8 to 23 months in prison. He also pled guilty to DUI and drug charges from a separate incident later that year, and that was all back in 2007. And he has admitted that he had 2 or 3 drinks, but they're still. They definitely took him to the hospital and got blood work done, that kind of stuff, because the officer says that you could smell it on him. 2 or 3 drinks, if they're spaced out, you're not really going to smell that much, depending on what you're drinking, I guess. But I'm thinking he's in some deep trouble.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. I remember back when Andy Reid was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, he had another son. I forget what his name was. He was another positional coach, and Andy Reid got excoriated for it because the judge, they had people go through the house, and he said it looked like a crack house inside of there. He goes, it's like a drug addict's paradise in there. And Andy Reid claimed that he didn't know what's going on. I mean, look, if you're in my house, I know everything that's going on in my house. If you got hard drugs, I'm going to know that you got hard drugs, and I'm going to know that. So, so good luck with that. I don't wish anything bad, and I hope whoever the victims were during the car accident, I hope that they're able to, make it through. And it gets to the point sometimes, Andy Reid may need to focus on some other stuff, but I don't like to make statements unless I know the whole, we'll see there's still information coming out, and we just wish that the victims who were in there, we hope that they, hope that they're okay.
There's not been an update on the 5-year-old that was in critical life-threatening condition. So I've been kind of keeping an eye out, trying to see if there's any updates on that, but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep y'all posted on that. So on another note, most hated players in the NFL. I saw this list and I was like, wow, and you see who sits on top there.
I see who's number 5 and number 6.
Hey, and it's crazy, Ramona, because just 2 years ago, if I had told you that Juju Smith-Schuster was one of the hated players in the NFL, no one would have believed me. I mean, he's a young guy, the fun-loving guy. When when the situation came up between him and Antonio Brown, I was on Juju's side. I was like, man, how you gonna? He's a kid, But as a person who played football, I'll tell you, and me and you, we talked about this, off the air. To me, that's one of the most disrespectful things that you can do. And you're sitting up there, you're dancing on my logo and stuff like that. I mean, that's just not something I would take kindly to. And You were told not to do it. You were told not to do it, and you kept doing it, and you paid a price. And you see that like guys took special care to light him up when they got a chance to retaliate. Right. You just don't do it. Football's one of those sports where you're basically giving somebody you're giving them a green light to assault you.
Well, see, I remember a TikTok comment too from him saying, look, he wasn't doing it to disrespect anybody. He just wanted the opportunity to be able to dance on all 31 teams in the middle of the field. He said it's always been a dream of his to do. Yeah, it's so, like and I understand that, and he is kind of his maturity level is not where you would think it would be. But the kid is he's still young. And hopefully he'll learn.
Does everybody remember when Baker Mayfield took the Oklahoma flag and put it in the middle of Ohio State's? Like that. Look, man, this isn't even a generational thing. Like, you don't do that. You don't. When you're putting a flag on somebody's ground, if I went to the middle of Notre Dame field, the hallowed field of Notre Dame, or went to Michigan.
I would like for our viewers, I'm going to interrupt just a second. Viewers, put down who your most hated player is. I want to see what those
I would love to. I would love to see that. But Juju, I'm not buying that as far as well, I wanted to dance on everybody's logo. He played at USC, right?
Yes.
Juju Smith-Schuster, he played at USC. How do you think? Okay, so USC's main rival is UCLA. Okay. USC's main rival is UCLA. If he went dancing on the UCLA logo, how do you think they would take that?
Oh yeah,
they would try to take his hand off. So why would you think it would be any different in the NFL? Why would you think there would be any different from that? That's just, you don't do that. Obviously Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. I don't know what the hatred is for Lamar Jackson. I mean, some of that is just, what do you hate about Lamar Jackson? Michael Thomas,
I'm going to tell you what it is. It's pure jealousy. It is pure jealousy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what? Lamar Jackson, I have never heard this guy say anything out of the way whatsoever. What would you have that? He's in my division. He plays for the Baltimore Ravens, one of our biggest rivals. And I do not hate Lamar Jackson. Come on, people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Jamal Adams, probably for the way that he got out of with the Jets. Michael Thomas, with the way he acted this year, probably. The Cowboys, I get it. There's a lot of people that hate the Cowboys. Except Dak. I mean, how could you hate Dak Prescott? Jalen Ramsey, because he's just Jalen Ramsey's a prick. Odell Beckham Jr., because he's a drama queen, and Aaron Rodgers, probably because he's kind of a drama queen too, So, I mean, is there anybody on this list that shouldn't be on the list, and there's somebody that's not on this list that needs to be on this list? I'll tell you a name on here that I was surprised that wasn't on here.
Who's that?
Ndamukong Suh.
You know what?
I thought Ndamukong Suh and Vontez Burfict was still playing. I'm sure he would be on this list because I hate Vontez Burfict.
Yeah, I do not like play. I do not like players who set out to absolutely just do nothing but hurt somebody on the field.
I never liked Vontez Burfict. And I remember one time, like in Ndamukong Suh, when he played with the Lions, he stepped on Aaron Rodgers' ankle while he went tackled him. He kind of like stepped on his ankle.
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute. He got in trouble for stomping somebody's ankle or leg or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no place for that. There's no place for that. So I'm surprised. I don't know if Vontez Burfict even played this year. So next, this is why if I'm Deshaun Watson, I don't listen to me. And Ramona, you've heard me say this a whole bunch of times. I don't give a damn what they come to me and say. I'm like, I'm done talking to y'all. I'm done talking to y'all. We don't have nothing else. Y'all need to trade me. I don't care what you do, what you have to do. I don't care how much salary cap. I don't care how much money you have to eat, dead money you got to eat. Get me the hell out of here. So remember in 2014 when Chiefs wide receivers somehow didn't score a single TD the entire season. I remember that. And their number one receiver at the time was Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah.
Who was the wide receivers coach that year, you asked? The Texas new head coach, Doug Culley.
David.
Get me out of Houston ASAP. I don't care. But I don't care. We're trying to do this. We're going to draft this. I don't care. Get me out of Houston. I don't want to be here no more. I want out. So that right there, that hire, that would be everything I needed to see to get me the hell out. So I always like to do like little comparisons, and I was wondering, Matthew Stafford gets so much hate. He gets so much hate, and then you look at a guy like Kirk Cousins.
Why? And the thing is, and I get that, but why does Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford, I don't know anybody that hates him.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's been on bad teams. I mean, Kirk Cousins can.
Well, he's only been on one bad team.
Well, Kirk Cousins has he though?
No, I'm talking about Stafford. That's why he's hyped and Cousins is so hated, because Cousins had the opportunity a couple of different times with the Redskins, and their team wasn't that bad at the time that Cousins was there. And then he moved to Minnesota and, did great that first season, got that great big money, and what's he done for them lately?
Kirk Cousins been robbing people for years. Kirk Cousins, they need to send the FBI after Kirk Cousins. He's been robbing people. He really didn't rob the Redskins. He didn't rob the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. He really didn't, because they were like, they just kept franchise tagging him. We're like, we're not giving you a long-term deal, but he still got a lot of money out of him because it was 1 year guaranteed deals, and I think he made like $100 million from the Washington football team, and then they finally just cut him because I think they franchised him like 2 years in a row. And then the third year was like, it was going to be like, I don't know, like $50 million for 1 year, and they just let him go. So Matthew Stafford has no excuses. He has no excuses. You got a young superstar coach. You got a run game. You got an offensive line. You got receivers. You got a defense. You have no excuses. So if you go over there and you F it up, we're gonna know what the problem is. So we'll see what happens.
Greg Thomas just made a comment too. Watson can't be traded until after June 1st. If earlier, Texans have 21 million dead cap. After June 1st, only 5 million dead cap. Watson don't show up, we'll take 3.3 million in fines until season starts.
That's fine. This is February, so they got like 4 months to figure it out. But they need to be on the phone. They need to be on the phone working something out. And as far as dead money, we've seen stuff like that before.
Oh
We've
yeah.
seen stuff where a team does it. So we'll see what happens. So quick little note: every quarterback in the 2016 draft has been cut, traded, or benched except one, and that's my boy, uh, Rain Dakota Prescott. As of
Uh,
now,
that's me. I was gonna say as of now.
as of now, I think he comes back. Contrary to what y'all think, yeah, I know y'all don't want to hear this. Being a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is a pretty good gig. When you look at all the former Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks, it's a springboard. Look what Tony Romo's doing now. Look what Troy Aikman's doing now. And then even Roger Staubach before that.
You mean
He's
8
got.
minutes ago, Buck? This Northfest?
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's still.
But I love
It's still
listening to Tony Romo. I love because this
Tony
guy
Romo.
is sitting there telling you what's getting ready to happen in the next play. I mean, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
really think Romo would be a great coach. I really do.
yeah. I mean, I as far as coaching, could he be a good coach? Yes, but
I think
Romo, he's got the best gig in the world. You're making $20 million a year. You work one big game a week. You get the golf every day. You're home every day with your kids. As compared to being you're at the office from 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. This people don't really understand like how much of a grind coaching is. And that's why a lot of these guys they just you see guys
maybe when his kids are
you know
grown.
we didn't do a we
Maybe
didn't
once
we
his,
didn't do a what's that?
I said maybe once his kids are grown.
Yeah, but I mean he's 38, 39 now. He's
Is he
like
that
38,
old?
39 now, maybe. Yeah, I mean he didn't play. I mean, he played till he was like 37. He might be in his early 40s. I mean, early 40s, and then but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's got a great job. I think he's going to be like John Madden or guys like that that just, they retire to the booth and that's it. So
This new
uh
guy has
quick so Matthew Stafford, he told him he would set the trade to anywhere except the Patriots. I found that, and then I was talking to somebody about this in my inbox,
I think he
and
just wanted to
they're
get
like,
out in
"Oh,
the cold weather.
well, I think the thing is, what would be an easier path if he okay, hypothetical situation. We don't really like doing hypotheticals on the Alphabets Football Show, but we're gonna do it right now. Let's just say that Matthew Stafford got traded to the Patriots. Let's just say he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl there. Would he be a legend in New England?
No.
No, because you're in the shadow of Tom Brady.
Brady.
You're in the, now who's the so I told when I was debating with this person, I'm like, who's the best quarterback in Rams history? Kirk Cousins.
Oh
Who
God.
would you have a better chance? Who would you have a better chance of surpassing, Tom Brady or Kurt Warner?
Wait a
I'm
minute.
sorry, Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, not Kirk Cousin. Kurt Warner. I'm sorry. Who would you have a better
You
chance of
still want
passing by?
about
Kurt.
that one?
Yeah, Kurt Warner has one Super Bowl. I mean, he had a great career. He's in the Hall of Fame. But if you can come in late in your career and win a championship or two with the Rams, you could go down as like the greatest quarterback in Rams history. So I think that's part of what it is. And then just the grind of dealing with Bill Belichick. I just, ask him. And then going from Detroit to LA, I mean, that's really, you're at the end of your career. You get to go.
To where if you get the Rams to a Super Bowl, you're pretty much going to be to a Super Bowl and actually win. You'll be
Yeah.
God. You'll be God.
Yeah, I mean, you will be a legend. And I'm with Ethan in here. He goes, the reason is Matt Patricia is back in New England. And I certainly feel like that's part of it too. Because from the reports and everything that I was hearing is that Matthew Stafford and Matt Patricia did not get along at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, congratulations that Yeah, Dalton says the same thing. Stafford doesn't want to go to Patriots because Patriots hired Matt Patricia. Stafford doesn't want to coach with Matt Patricia. So, hey, congratulations, and you get to go to LA and chill, and you
And
live
I
in.
skipped the golf one.
Yeah, you know. So
The slide, the golf slide.
yeah, you know, hey,
I skipped it. I
yeah,
skipped that
yeah,
slide.
yeah. And then there was some other stuff that I heard why Sean McVay wanted Jared Goff out of there. But this is a family show, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. So there's just Andy Reid, of course, singing the praises of Tom Brady. There's just never enough points that you're gonna be able to score against Tom Brady.
And
To me, sometimes
that's a nice praise right there. Come on.
yeah, that's flattery. That's just some flattery. And I'm sure Andy Reid's in the meeting saying we're gonna light these boys up. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
he's saying.
yeah, of course he
He
is.
said, Pat, I want you to go out and put up 50 points on these boys. He knows his team is explosive, but it's just gamesmanship. That's just ultimate respect. So your boy again. Your boy. This guy, man. So Juju Smith-Schuster, he's pending free agency. The Steelers didn't pick up his fifth-year option, which, a lot of good first-round picks. They get that fifth-year option. So he says when you're playing chess, you're thinking 4 or 5 moves ahead, and I have some teams in mind. Okay, we'll see.
I like the way somebody put the little pictures up there. Browns, Jets, Ravens.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we'll see. There's a lot of people, I loved this past offseason. Some of these guys who just thought they were going to get these mega contracts, Jadeveon Clowney, Melvin Gordon. They thought that they were just going to hit free agency, and it was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to be the highest paid in my position.
Well, COVID
and nobody
got in the way of all of it, I think.
Yeah, do I think Juju he's a good receiver.
I think he's a solid number 2. I don't ever
He's a
think
solid number 2, but the highest paid, I think the highest paid receiver, some of the highest paid receiver, Julio, Odell Beckham Jr., Amari Cooper, he's like up there in the top 5. You're not getting that type of money, dude. Like if that's the type of money you think you're getting, you are going to be. And then here's the bad thing for him. They have receivers coming up in free agency that I would take over him. Who would you rather have, Chris Godwin or Juju Smith-Schuster? I'd rather have Chris Godwin.
And I understand what you're saying. I do.
I'm just saying. I think when sometimes guys aren't able to shot. Sometimes guys aren't able to. I mean, look at who Chris Godwin plays with. Chris Godwin plays with.
Listen, his style of play is so close to Hines Ward's style of play. That to me is as far as he ever would have went as far as a receiver in the NFL. That's as far as I think he'll ever go. Is he will be Juju. I think he will be that dependable first down guy. He doesn't seem to mind sharing the reps. He doesn't. He has day one.
But I'm saying is if you want to be a number 1, and most receivers,
well, yeah, they want to be a number 1 because they want to get paid the money.
Yeah, so you want to get paid that money, and if the guy who I would say whose game closest resembles Hines Ward that's playing right now, in my opinion, would be Golden Tate. He's not flashy. He's not that fast. He's just a solid football player. He's tough as nails, and that works in the Pittsburgh Steelers system. But everywhere else, it's like, how many receivers do you need like that? For my number 1 receiver, I need you to be Stephon Diggs. I need you to be a guy who the other team. I need you to be Tyreek Hill. I need you to be Stephon Diggs. I need you to be Devontae Adams. I don't need you to be Hines Ward. I need you to be one of those guys where the defensive coordinator
or Antonio Brown was. I mean, for 8 years.
Or Antonio Brown was where the defense says we have got to stop this guy. And when I see Juju Smith-Schuster, I just don't see that. So good luck with that. We'll see what happens as far as that. So
you weren't supposed to laugh out loud.
The Raiders have signed quarterback Nathan Peterman to a 1-year extension. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that? Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
I don't have anything to
I'm going away from that one right now.
So hey, congratulations. Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger are expected to meet after the Super Bowl, probably Monday, to discuss the quarterback's future and contract. And Ramona, this is your squad.
I have new rumor. Got a new rumor. New rumors is he has made several statements of making rookie style money to stay one more year so they can use that money to sign some players.
Okay.
Wow. That just kind of blew my mind. I mean, look, the organization won't do that, but
you get to a point in your career. Ben has 2 rings.
Yep.
I think if Ben Roethlisberger, if he were able to win one more ring, I think he's Hall of Fame worthy right now. Myself, I think no doubt he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I believe so.
A lot of people don't.
Shout out to my man Dennis Holmes, the ignorant thinker. He doesn't believe that he is. And I've heard other people in the Rise Up family say they don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he is.
I do.
I think he is. But we had a big stink with certain players. Somebody said that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. I don't think Phillip Rivers.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Alan Faneca is not on that list tomorrow, I am going to raise hell.
You'll raise holy hell?
I'm going to raise holy hell if Alan Faneca is not inducted tomorrow. I can assure you of that right now because he definitely deserves it.
He played center, right? He was a center. Alan Faneca, he was a center, right?
Yeah. No.
Was he a guard?
He was a guard.
Okay. I thought he played a little bit.
Left guard.
He played left guard. Okay. So, a lot of these older quarterbacks, it's crazy because Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers are around the same age. They're around the same age. And Aaron Rodgers is wanting a bigger contract, and Ben Roethlisberger is talking about he's going to decrease his contract.
And that's what
I think that's crazy, But hey, a lot of these quarterbacks, they could for people talking all this crap about Tom Brady. I will say this one thing about Tom Brady: he would take them pay cuts, and he just kept winning. It's like, hey, you want to make $40, $45 million a year? That's fine, and you can't have this left tackle, and you're going to lose this receiver.
Dennis just corrected you. He said, "I think Ben is first ballot, but Phillip Rivers, child please."
Child please.
I love it. I can see him saying that too.
And you know the thing about it, there are some people that say Eli Manning's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think Eli Manning's and him and Ben Roethlisberger have the same amount of championships. I just never was impressed with Eli Manning. I never was impressed with him. But there are some people like, hey, he's got 2 rings. So we'll see. Some of these arguments we're going to see in the next couple of years when these guys come up. Eli retired last season. He retired last season, right?
Yeah.
And then Phillip Rivers retired this season. So they're like, the next next 4 or 5 years, we're going to have our answers as far as this guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I don't see it. I don't see it with Eli, but I mean, the one caveat that he has is he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. Even though he hit the guy in the face mask with the ball, he beat him. So,
well, he hit the one guy on the top of his helmet with the ball.
Yeah, David Tyree. It's
Tyree, yeah.
Tyree, that was the luckiest throw ever, but he did it. And then he comes back a few years later
One
and
thing
does
about
it.
it, nobody else was going to catch that ball. Nobody else could have caught that ball. Fact.
So so we only got one game. We're down to the final game, the chip game. We all know, Tom Brady, the GOAT. He's a GOAT versus the Chiefs. We got
Versus a future GOAT, most likely.
that's the future GOAT. First the future GOAT. And last week I had people in my inbox. They're like, "How come y'all didn't talk about the game last week?" I said,
Breaking news.
"Breaking news."
Dalton Smith said Saints renegotiated Drew Brees' contract. So does that mean he's not retiring, Dalton?
No, I think what that is, that's to give them some salary cap relief. I think that's to give them some. I really, when you look at the body language,
thought he was gone. I thought he was going to retire after this.
Because he was due to make a whole bunch of money this year. And I think what he's doing with them is giving the Saints like some salary cap relief, because if they don't, they are going to be hurting. I think they're I don't know, like $20 million over the cap next season. Dalton probably knows a little bit more about that, but yeah, I think that's more of a. I think
we're worst.
Yeah, I think they're pretty. I think they're pretty.
Pittsburgh is probably the worst in the league right now.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So there, for him, that's probably something he's doing. To kind of, they paid this man a lot of money. They've had a good relationship. Maybe they give him some kind of like front office job or something. Like I could see him being like in a John Elway type capacity where he, works in the front office. Something I could see him doing something. I don't know that for sure, but I could definitely see him doing something like that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Dalton says they're dead last in count. So last week I had people that are like, hey, how come you and Ramona? How come y'all didn't even give us y'all Super Bowl predictions, man? What's up with that? I go, look, man, we were saving our thoughts for this week. So me and Ramona, we're gonna make our predictions and how we think the game's gonna go. We got some footage, and I know some of this footage is gonna hurt some of you all's feelings. It's gonna bring up certain unpleasant memories. But I keep hearing over and over and over again, what are the Chiefs gonna do? What are they gonna do with the what are they gonna do against the Bucks? And I'm just like, I think the Bucks have a great team. They have a great team, and I mean, obviously, they're their best team in the NFC this season. But I keep seeing. So we wanted to play a little bit of. I just wanted you guys to see. Just now, this was the NFC Championship game. Tom Brady versus the Packers in the NFC Championship game. As we all know, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in that game. And I will actually say this. Aaron Rodgers outplayed him in that game. Do you agree with that? Your mic is off, Mona. I don't. Your mic.
Oh, sorry about that. I was doing that when I was getting the footage ready. I absolutely think he outplayed Brady.
Third and 2 right here.
Yeah, the only problem I had is
that's a terrible throw.
How do you get 3 interceptions and not take advantage of those 3 interceptions? I don't understand that. They never could get the running game going. Buck stepped up and just stopped it. So, but yeah, I like I said.
And well, part of it was this stupid ass coaching by Matt LaFleur. And I've said that I stand by that.
I stand by that. I said he lost that game at the end of that game. 2 minutes left. He's not kick a field goal with the MVP of the league at quarterback. You do not kick a field goal. You go for the touchdown, and then you go for 2 and tie the game up.
Yeah, you just I want one little caveat here. This footage does not belong to us. This is the NFL Turning Point, so part of the NFL Network. So this footage does not belong to us. So we have to make sure that we let that be known. I just wanted you guys to see. I keep trying to make people understand. This is Tyreek Hill just blowing past the Buffalo Bills, and him and Travis Kelsey just torturing the Buffalo Bills. And I also, and I didn't even get some footage of Mecole Hardman what he did too. But
Well,
the
the throw into
Chiefs,
the end zone, him not getting a hold of that ball, he had to play makeup the rest of the game. So, and he did.
oh yeah, and he did. He did make up for. I said that in last week's show. I thought it was really cool how they even the kid made a really bad mistake. Everybody knows you don't feel the punt inside. You don't feel the punt inside of the 10. You just don't do it. Everybody knows that who's ever played football, who's ever played special teams and returner. If the ball looks like it's going inside of the 10, you don't return it.
Yeah.
He trying to make a play, and he. But the thing with the Chiefs is
That game
even
started
when they
out as bad. Listen, that game started out as bad for them as it did for that damn snap over Ben's head against the Browns in the playoffs.
yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing with the Chiefs is like they cannot play their best game, and they can still put up 40 points on you.
Yeah.
They can put 40 points. It's like, okay, we spotted you. It was 9-0. The game was 9-0, and the Chiefs nearly. Is that a blowout? I mean, it's just once they get rolling, and we saw this with them. We saw this with them. In a bunch of other games where they just don't. They start off a little bit slow, and and I tell people all the time, it's like when you play the Chiefs, it's like it's the
They
closest
own that
comparison I can.
for some reason. They own that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and Andy Reid starts dialing up plays, and they're running jet sweeps with Mecole in motion, and jet sweeps with Hill in motion, and then this week they get back Sammy Watkins this week. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with 2 weeks to rest up his injury. I think Le'Veon Bell's playing in this game.
Yep.
And Antonio Brown is not playing in this game. Antonio Brown's already been ruled out. And by the way, quick thing, he for making the Super Bowl, he had a incentive clause in there. If he made the Super Bowl, $750,000. Whether he plays or not in this game, he makes an extra $750,000. $750,000 just to sit out the game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
Not too.
something. Towards the 3-quarter mark of the season, AB was helping them win games. He was actually
Yep.
starting to play some good ball. But I'm gonna tell you something. It is something that I had already seen, and I kind of suspected with him that he was starting to. He's down. He's on his down slope now. He's not up there at the top where he was. He's on his down slope, and I think you're going to start seeing more and more injuries coming from AB. The guy was, you know what? As much as a Steeler fans can't stand AB, he was amazing out there. Him and Ben had chemistry that was just unreal. Facts, just facts.
No doubt.
And when you have that kind of chemistry with your quarterback, you become an amazing receiver at that point, especially if you had a quarterback that can throw the ball deep like Ben used to be able to do.
Yeah.
Not sure he can actually do that now. I think he can. I've seen glimmers of it, but I also think that they were trying to keep him from throwing too deep. Plus, he was releasing the ball quicker than any other quarterback in the league. But
Yeah, you have time.
yeah,
You
exactly.
have no damn time.
But I'll be honest with you. Yuri says Chiefs season is over. Eric Fisher not playing. I don't. Yeah, okay.
I mean, he is. I mean, no doubt, he probably is their best offensive lineman.
Right.
I think I just believe I really do believe this. Who do you trust more, Andy Reid or Bruce Arians? I mean, to me, that's what it really. And I think Bruce Arians is a hell of a coach. I think he's a hell of a coach. I think Tom Brady might be the GOAT quarterback. But I just think, me personally, the Chiefs, I haven't seen this type of team speed and explosiveness since the '99 Rams. Where I mean, the 2007 Patriots, they were incredible, but they just had Randy Moss. I mean, they had it was Randy Moss, and they lost in the Super Bowl. The '99 Rams, the greatest show on turf. This team reminds me of them, where everybody can run. Everybody, from their first was from Tyreek Hill all the way to Byron Pringle. All of their receivers can run. Kelsey is a matchup nightmare. He's a matchup nightmare. Best tight end.
I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Tom Brady throws 3 interceptions in this game, they are toast.
It'll be a blowout. It'll be I think Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions in the AFC Championship, and once he threw those 2 interceptions, it was just like you cannot give Patrick Mahomes extra. You can't give him extra possession. But I will say this, in my opinion, the Chiefs' best chance is to run the football. To me, this is a Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette game. Tom Brady, I need you to throw the ball, make 3 or 4 throws in this game. Great decision. Throw the ball up to Mike Evans. Take a shot down the field with Scotty Miller. Gronk work in the middle of the field. But to me, the key to this game is Leonard Fournette and Rojo running the football and playing keep away from the Chiefs. If you go up and you try to, the Buffalo Bills learned this the hard way 2 weeks ago. If you go up here trying to go point for point, oh, we got an explosive offense, we're going to go point for point with the Chiefs. If you try to do that against the Chiefs, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. If I'm watching any film of the Chiefs, the game that I'm watching? I'm watching the Raiders game. And what the Raiders did was they ran the ball with Josh Jacobs. They ran the ball with Josh Jacobs. They kept the Chiefs from getting extra possessions, and do not turn over the ball and give them extra possessions. If they follow that blueprint, they can win. If Tom Brady goes out there trying to sling it around and try to go throw for throw with Patrick Mahomes, it could be a blowout. It could be a blowout. I really do believe that. I know my man Buck Flair. He's probably, Marcus. What the hell are you saying, Mark? I can hear him right now. Marcus, you just hate Tom Brady. No, I'm just saying, when I look at them play, that's what I see.
We don't hate Tom Brady anyway, because both of us really believe that he is the GOAT.
The GOAT quarterback. He's a quarterback. So
if he wins this Super Bowl, there is absolutely no doubt, and shouldn't be any doubt in anybody's mind.
7 Super Bowls, been the 10 and win 7 of them.
Yep. I mean, Bradshaw had
70%. You went to 10 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. If he wins this Super Bowl, there is no more debate. There's no more debate about who was the bigger cog in the machine. Was it Belichick's coaching or Tom Brady? There's no more debate about.
Wait a minute. To be fair, let's also look at how many players opted out for Bill Belichick.
I got you. I got you. But I'm saying that argument is moot until next season,
right?
Because they come back next week and next year and they get blown out again.
Tampa Bay in this game,
huh?
Dennis says he's got Tampa Bay. Gary says Tampa Bay because he says
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So Ramona, before I make my pick, what do you? I need your thought. I need you to break it down for me.
Okay. Let me see. I believe that Kansas City's offense is just too much. I do not think that the Tampa Bay Bucks defense is strong enough to stop that offense. So at this point, they have to be able to move the chains and score. They have to be able to score with Patrick Mahomes and company. I don't know anybody who's got an answer for both Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. And then you put in the factor of what's his name? McCall Hardman.
Miko Hardman.
And
Sammy Watkins.
Then you and then you got the running game that he's got. You better believe they've made plans to cover up the missing Eric Fisher. So at this point, I just don't. Buffalo Bills defense was pretty good, and I think they sacked Mahomes one time in that game. I do not see all them sacks coming from Tampa Bay that I've heard, and I'm talking about. But it's possible, I guess. Now that Fisher is out, that may create the hole they need. But I think they have to be able to score, and if you leave it all on Tom Brady's arm, you're not going to win that game, because at that point the Chiefs are going to get to him. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Chiefs have 3 sacks on the Bills on Josh Allen?
3 sacks and they picked off Josh Allen twice.
And a fumble. I think there was a fumble somewhere.
Yes.
So I like I said, and Tom Brady is probably the best quarterback I've ever seen play. But I also
over John Elway.
Okay, no, I can't no, because I think you put Brady in Elway's position. Brady is not nowhere near as successful as what Elway was. Absolutely not. Brady's always had help, and he's always had pretty decent protection. You hit Brady, if the Chiefs can get to Brady and put pressure on him, that's how I think the Chiefs absolutely beat them. But if Brady can get the running game going with his passing abilities, they can absolutely win this game. I don't have them winning this game. I have the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs, and I think it's going to be 48-24. And the reason why, because I think Tom Brady is going to throw interceptions in this game. I just think he will.
Okay. Well, I'm looking up in here. Dennis is picking the Tampa Bay, and Dalton's taking the Chiefs 31-27. Yuri says the Chiefs are a great team, but if protection isn't there, I just don't see it. I'm not saying that will be the case. We'll see. Look.
Here's Will have.
I said it before, I'll say it again.
William Rick both are watching.
Richter's watching. I don't know
I just think
if Ace is up in here. Richter. William Richter, if you're in there in the comments, give me a score. I really want to hear what you got to say about that. And you too, Ace. To me, I'm going to say this again, and people are like, "Oh, Marcus, you're just all on the Chiefs. You're all on the Chiefs. You just." Oh, I go, no, it's not that. It's just I watched the game, and what I see with them, I've been watching football a long time. The Chiefs may have the fastest team I've ever seen. They may have as far as team speed, running back, tight end, wide receiver core. And then here's the thing. Here's what makes the Chiefs. Here's what makes the Chiefs nearly impossible to deal with. I won't say they are impossible. Nearly impossible to deal with. You can have everything covered.
$31.20 is what Yuri says.
You can have every
31.23.
31-23 Buccaneers. Okay. You can have everything covered. You can have everything covered with the Chiefs. And then Mahomes takes off on you. He against the Bills, he took off on them a couple of times.
Yeah.
All your cornerbacks are down the field because you're scared. You're scared to death of Mecole Hardman. You're scared to death of Tyreek Hill. You're scared to death of Sammy Watkins. You're scared to death of Travis Kelce. And you got all these guys locked up. Then you got to worry about the running back, CEH, coming out the backfield. And here's the thing. The person who really hurt the Bills, it wasn't CEH 2 weeks ago. You know what it was? It was Darrell Williams.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then Mahomes took off on a couple of quarterback scrambles where he took it off or he extended the play or something like that. And if you don't, you're giving Mahomes extra time to look down the field as a corner who's covering him. I mean, as good of a cornerback as Tre'Davious White is. And Tre'Davious White, I still think he's one of the top 2 or 3 corners in the game.
Dennis says
he can't run with Tyreek Hill.
Dennis says $23.
$23.
Why are they low scoring?
Yeah,
I don't understand that. Neither one of these defenses are like that. I'm just not okay. I get it.
Hey, I mean, it's y'all's opinion, and that's fine. And we're gonna watch the game. We're gonna watch the game regardless. And guess what? Probably on Sunday night on the Family Show or Monday Night Madness, we're gonna be talking about this game all week. And then next week, me and Ramona will be, doing a wrap-up show. Please make sure next week, we got something special planned for y'all. Next week's our final show for the season for our first. Me and Ramona, our first season together in the Alphabet Show. So we got a nice little show planned out for y'all. And then we're going to take a little hiatus, but we'll definitely be probably talking about it on Monday Night Madness. I'm sure Dennis and them will be talking about it on Talk Your Ish. Him and Ron will probably be talking about it. Chad will probably be talking about it on the Vault. So, we'll definitely talk about it. As far as with me, I'm going to give you my score. I got 38-32 Chiefs. 38-32 Chiefs. I think that I don't think that the Bucs have enough firepower without Antonio Brown. They signed Antonio Brown for a game like this. When you look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown, I just don't think that an old slow Gronk, Mike Evans and Scotty Miller can match up with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Patrick Mahomes. I just don't see it. I just think that youth will, look. The hardest thing, the thing that hurt me most in life was watching Michael Jordan play for the Washington Wizards. Watching him win all those championships, and then you see him come into the league, you see him go to the Washington Wizards and get destroyed. This is a man who was averaging 32, 33 points a game, and he's averaging 17, 18 points with the Wizards. And I think that's what happens with Tom Brady here. And I don't think that people give the Chiefs defense enough credit. When you look at a guy like Chris Jones, when you look at a guy like the Honey Badger, guys like that, Damian Wilson, the linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, a couple of guys who played for my Cowboys, they're going for their second ring. I just don't see the Bucs, as great as last when they played in the NFC Championship. If like you said, Ramona, if Tom Brady gives Patrick Mahomes extra possessions, I just don't. I don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. So I'm going to say 38-32 Chiefs, and my MVP of the game. And I picked it right last season. I picked. I picked. Well, I didn't pick you right. I actually said that Damian Williams. I said
You
Damian
said it
Williams, and
should have been
he had a great game, huh?
You said it should have been Damian Williams.
It should have been Damian Williams. I thought it should have been. They gave it to Patrick Mahomes. But the guy, the X factor in this game, in my opinion, will be the Honey Badger. I think the Honey Badger. I think Tyrann Mathieu makes a couple of game breaking interceptions, forced fumbles, something like that. Comes and gets a strip sack, gets an interception. I think the Honey Badger is the difference in this game. So there it is, people. That's my pick. Ramona's made her pick, and we'll definitely be talking about it. We're gonna break down the game next week. We'll have the whole show giving out postseason awards, and we'll break down the Super Bowl one last time. We'll pick a little bit of meat off the carcass next week. That's that 7-day-old turkey from Thanksgiving in the first week of December. That's going to be us next week, picking over the last little bit of meat on there. But I just think I don't think that the Bucs have the offensive firepower. I don't think anybody. What was the Bill? What were the Bills ranked as far as offense this past season? They were like in the top 5, and you just cannot sit up there and match up against them. I'm sure Andy Reid, who I think is one of the top 3 coaches in the game right now, I think he's cooking up something, some plays. He's probably sitting up.
The only thing I worry about is how he's going to be handling this accident his son was in. I wonder if that's going to affect anything. I don't think it's going to really affect, even though he's a linebackers coach, I don't think it's going to affect their defense in any way, shape, or form. But they also do have some players missing because of the COVID that aren't going to get to play this weekend, don't they?
I think there'll be a last minute. It'll be a last minute thing. But you got to come up a couple of days with negative tests.
I remember well the 2007 Giants, Dennis Holmes.
Yeah, and guess what? Tom Brady lost that game. So yes, I remember it quite well. I remember it quite well. So Sunday will be the 4th time in Brady's history, his career, that he'll face a quarterback in a Super Bowl that already has a ring. The aforementioned Eli Manning, Kurt Warner, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's pretty incredible considering the gambit he's had to walk. So we'll see how that goes for him. And I guess when you've been playing in 10 Super Bowls, you're gonna see a couple of guys. So
yeah, exactly.
So
next.
I don't know if y'all had seen this. I don't know if y'all had seen this, but Scotty Miller had made a little smirky comment and said he thought he could beat Tyreek Hill in a foot race. And Tyreek Hill kind of clapped back at him. I feel like in my heart, no one can keep up with me. And I think the tape proves that. I think the tape's true, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I think he's just incredible. Super Bowl titles by conference. This is Super Bowl 55. We are tied NFC 27, AFC 27. And it's crazy because for about 13 or 14 years, the NFC went like 13 or 14 straight.
Oh, you know what? I know what. Listen, let me interrupt you a second. I know what Dennis is talking about. The Giants played the Patriots twice. They got beat in the regular season and then beat them in the Super Bowl. That's right. They did. They didn't show up. The Giants didn't show up in that fourth quarter. It was like they played tough. All 3 quarters were winning the game. And in the fourth quarter, the team, I think, decided to go home early. And the Patriots came back and beat them in the regular season. And then the Giants turn around and beat them. And that's what he's going at. He's going at that. The Chiefs beat the Bucks in the regular season. Now it's the Bucks' turn to turn around and beat them in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I get what you're saying, but I just
definitely.
Honest to God,
I didn't get that. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this year, but we'll see.
I don't think so either. So, this thing with the Super Bowl between the NFC and AFC, it goes in cycles. I remember for like 13 or 14 years that the NFC beat the AFC. I mean, it was like the 84 Raiders was the last time, and then the NFC won like 13 or 14 straight years until like the 97 Broncos. That was the next time the AFC hit one. But then this whole thing with the Patriots, they kind of caught up, with the Patriots dynasty, the AFC kind of got back on top with that. So, and then your Steelers and the Patriots. So, it goes in cycles where some years, I think in the 70s, the AFC won most of the championships. When you look at your Steelers, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the 72 Dolphins, the Raiders, your Steelers teams in the 70s. Then the 80s, the 49ers kind of ruled. And then the 90s, the Cowboys kind of ruled. The Giants won. The Redskins won one. So, it goes in cycles. So, Travis Kelce, and people may not know this, Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski are the same age. Which player looks more like the shot player? But like Kelce looks like he could play like another 3 or 4 years. And Gronk looks like I could very well see if Gronk and Brady win this Super Bowl, I could see both of them walking off to the sunset. What do you think, Mona?
Yeah, very well. Very well could. I'm going to tell you something. I don't think if Brady wins the Super Bowl this year, I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he's going to. I really don't. I think he's going to continue playing. If he doesn't get hurt, I think he stays.
Okay, hypothetical. The Chiefs blow out the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. You think Brady comes back?
Yeah, I think.
You think he would come back after getting blown? I
don't think his pride can handle it.
Okay. I know that the day that Brady retires, that'll be the day that Gronk retires. Gronk has already said, "I won't play without Brady." So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. So,
you want to read into the comments, or?
Yeah, let me see here. Dennis said the G-Men played the Pats twice that year. Thank you, Ramona. Who's the last NFC team to win the Super Bowl? Dennis Holmes. Shut up, Dennis. We all know who the last team to win. The Philadelphia Eagles. Funny ass. So he had to rub that in. So let's see here. Packers quarterbacks. Some teams will never have two quarterbacks this good in their history. The Packers get them back to back and won only 2 Super Bowls with them, one apiece for them. So look, man, you gotta have. I tell you guys this all the time, and people, especially my man. Shout out to my man Mookie Hawkins. Make sure y'all check him out, man. He does great work. Marcus, the Cowboys haven't won the Super Bowl in 25 years. Do you know how hard it is to win the Super Bowl? You have 32 teams all trying to get one.
He doesn't know how hard it is because his Bills haven't won one yet.
Well, yeah, that is true, Mona. But it's hard to win it, It's hard, And then you have some franchises that have 5 and 6 Super Bowl rings. And then you have some teams that have never been to the Super Bowl. And then you have some teams that have been to the Super Bowl and never won. It's a hard thing to do, So, when you get that opportunity to win one, you better get it because there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee. You went to the NFC Championship this year, the AFC Championship, or you went to the Super Bowl. We've seen teams that go to the Super Bowl one year and then they don't even make the playoffs the next year. It's hard because you got to reset and you got to start all over again every year. So, One thing that's very intriguing about Travis Kelce, and I've never really seen this with any other player in the NFL ever before, is that Kelce gets better every single year. And this is coming from Gronk, one of his contemporaries, best tight end in the game. I keep trying to. She finally conceded, so I feel really good. It's not like Ramona to concede anything.
You just don't know how hard that is
nice.
for me. I still want to say Heath Miller is. I think if Heath Miller had been utilized the way Kelce or any of these guys were, I think he would have been right up there with them. But
well,
we just
you know what?
that way.
I think the guy who kind of made it with these tight ends were a lot of these teams. They're called, these flex kind of guys that you can move them all over the formation, put them in the slot. You look at a guy like Jimmy Graham. He kind of like started that. Shannon Sharp back in the day. Shannon Sharp played wide receiver at Savannah State. And then, he was only like 230 pounds, which is really small for a tight end. But, they would line him up all over the formation. And that's what Kelce is like. Okay, he's too big. He's too big for a safety, and he's too fast for a linebacker. He's just a matchup nightmare. So, you see a lot of these tight ends, you see some of these tight ends, and it's really hard dealing with them. And Kelce, he's that guy. And if he keeps going the way he's going, you see guys like Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates, Jason Witten, and Vernon Davis, and guys like that. Jimmy Graham, they're hard to deal with. So I think it's the way the game is being played. You see some of these guys, big athletic guys that can move and catch the ball. They're too athletic to be like an offensive lineman. They can catch the ball. You see a lot of these guys, these young kids start, playing that flex tight end position. Just to show you how long Tom Brady's been around. He's 43 years old, and Patrick Mahomes Sr., Pat Mahomes' dad, is 50. So he's damn near old enough to be his daddy.
I got more info on Brady on fun facts a little bit too. So
okay, let me see here. So Ramona, take it away. Got the fun facts. We're not doing the Rocky Bar Award because we didn't have no games last week. So Ramona's going to take it away with the fun facts.
All right, here we go.
Like to hear it? Here you go.
Here we go. All right, fun fact number 1: when Patrick Mahomes was born, Tom Brady was just 3 months removed from being the 507th overall pick in their Major League Baseball draft by the Montreal Expos. So,
wow.
I mean, come on, think about that, guys. Think about that. I mean, that's so amazing.
A long time.
Yeah, long time.
He's been doing it for a long time. Long time.
Ricky Bobby,
what's going on, Ricky Bobby? Ricky Bobby up in here.
Okay. Fun fact number 2. This will be Tom Brady's first time being a Super Bowl underdog since 2002, in which the Patriots were a 14-point underdog against the greatest show on turf. Yep. So, and this is his first time being an underdog. And I don't think the point spread is that bad though, is it? I don't know what it.
I don't even know what it was like 7. Yeah, it was like it was like.
I'm thinking it was like 7 points, maybe 4.
I thought it was around 7. Yes, I thought it was like 7.
All right. So next fun fact: Super Bowl 45, right? No, 55.
55.
Will be the 525th playoff game in the Super Bowl era and Brady's 45th playoff start. Brady will have played in 8.57% of all playoff games in the Super Bowl era.
I mean, it's just a testament to his longevity and his durability. I mean, I say that all the time. The best ability is availability. I mean, this guy for pretty much most of his career has been available. If you're able to stay healthy and not take, those kill shots and those just devastating knee injuries, neck injuries, like Peyton Manning, when Peyton Manning was done, like when at the end he was just like the guy could barely move. You saw the way Eli Manning was at the end. We saw the way Phillip Rivers looked at the end. And to see this guy still doing what he's doing at this age is just, I don't know if we'll ever see anything like this again.
Yeah,
ever.
I think we will. I think he's going to be playing against him in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
If he stays healthy.
Well, he's been a little bit nicked up the past couple of years where he's missed a few games.
Oh, but now see, I've seen Brady do the same thing. Come on.
Yeah.
I've seen Brady miss games.
But not
the whole season, and Garoppolo took over, and the following year, Belichick wanted to get rid of Brady. So,
yeah.
All right, next fun fact.
But even then, he was still in his Even then, he was in his late 30s. I'm saying early in his career, Pat Mahomes has missed a few games. I don't remember Tom Brady in his early 20s missing games. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
All right. In 2012, the Chiefs went 2-14 with 10 losses by more than one possession. Since Andy Reid took over in 2013, they've gone 98-42 with only 9 total losses by more than one possession.
That just speaks to his, he needs to be mission if he's not already in the upper echelon of coaches. I think we all, but when you start talking about, you talk about the Mike Tomlins, you talk about the Bill Belichick's, you talk about the Pete Carrolls, Andy Reid needs to be in those conversations.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, next fun fact. If the Bucs win the Super Bowl, Tom Brady will be the first player in NFL history to stop 2 teams from winning back-to-back Super Bowls. The Seahawks in 2013-2014 and the Chiefs 2019-2020.
With the dumbest play call on the 1-yard line ever. The dumbest play call.
Right? Okay. Next fun fact. This one's for you, Dennis Holmes, if you're still watching. In 1975, Eagles quarterback Mike Barilla, is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Threw for 966 yards. 30th in a 26-team league. He threw 6 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. The Eagles went 4-10. Somehow, Barilla made the Pro Bowl that year.
Yeah, that was before. That's Nathan Peterman type numbers nowadays. Speaking of a guy who just got a contract extension, this is why I try to tell people: eras matter. What would if that guy threw for that nowadays? What would he would be bagging groceries? He would be bagging groceries. He wouldn't even be in the league throwing.
He went after Warner's old job.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Jake Delhome's 3 Super Bowl touchdown passes traveled more yards, 136, than Tom Brady's 18 Super Bowl touchdown passes of 133. Just 3 passes compared to Tom Brady's 18.
Well, that shows you his the style. Tom Brady's more that short pass, time passes. Maybe
Dennis said no, he would be Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, exactly. He would be Nathan Peterman if he played nowadays, and he would be. Yeah.
Next fun fact: since John Matthew Stafford's rookie season in 2009, the Lions receivers led the NFL with 350 dropped passes. 350 dropped passes.
And I know for a fact he had like maybe his whole time with the Lions, he had like maybe 10 games where he had a 100-yard rusher. I think DeAndre Swift did it now, and I don't,
And,
but he's never
and you
hit.
know what? And I've always said this, and I'll say it to him blue in the face. You cannot just be a passing offensive team and win games.
You can't be one dimensional.
You
No, you
have,
can't.
if you are one dimensional,
Yeah.
there's defenses are going to eat you up. If
Yeah.
Pittsburgh had that same problem this year, never could get a running game going. If we'd have had a running game, if we'd had a Derrick Henry, or if we get Najee Harris in the draft this season, honestly,
Ramona, I just saw your eyes light up. Like your eyes just lit up. You look like my daughter on Christmas Day. It was just like your eyes just lit up. It was like, oh my God, that'd be early Christmas for you, huh? Christmas in April, you get Najee Harris.
You don't understand. The draft, you can ask my kids. I am glued to the TV. I don't move.
Yeah.
So yes, the draft is my Christmas.
I'm looking forward to it, especially with no combine this year. I'm really looking forward to the draft.
Yeah. All right. Last fun fact, guys. Ducks are hard to catch, Ricky Bobby said. Patrick Mahomes has only lost 4 games outside of Kansas City in his career. Just 4. And in those 4 losses, the Chiefs have scored 40 points in one game and still lost. 51 points in one game and lost. I think they lost 52-51, I think, in that game. 31 points in one of the games and 32 points. So you people who aren't at least giving them at least 30 points in a game, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Yeah. So that's just it. That's it for me anyway.
Yeah. That's it. So we're gonna shut it down a little bit early tonight. Y'all been watching the Alpha Football Talk with the Rise Up family.
Yep.
This will be our second last show for the season. We're gonna have a wrap-up show next week. We'll be giving away some award, the Rocky Blyer year award next week, and some of the other we'll be doing that, and then we'll be previewing who we think are going to win, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, MVP.
Dennis says I'm only giving them 20 points.
Coach of the year, all of that good stuff, because I think that's not going to happen. Yeah. So last year I won like $75 because somebody said that the Chiefs were only going to score 7 points in the game. Bitch, no names or nothing, but their initials were Kelly. But anyways, just be on the lookout. Be on the lookout next week.
I remember
make sure y'all are tuning into everything. Checking out all the shows with the Rise Up family. Checking out the web pages. People are doing stuff. We got trivia. We got the family show on Sunday night. Ramona won last night. Didn't even let me know. We got trivia going on. We have the family show on Sunday night.
I was late getting to the show, so I missed the first 3 questions. And Dalton and I were actually tied, and we had to go to a tiebreaker. And the way he handled the tiebreaker was he went into like Messenger and invited me and Dalton in, and he asked us a question in text. And I'm gonna tell you something. That took a lot of research right there, Betty, to get the answer to that question.
Yeah, they be coming up with some questions, all kind of questions.
Oh, Ricky Bobby said, "I just got here." Sad face.
Dalton beat me one night, but we got something for every. Make sure y'all are checking out the other shows.
We have the Jawu. wrestling show on Sundays.
Wrestling.
The Buffalo Bills early.
Congratulations to Jeremiah Robinson. Jeremiah Robinson with the he did it last week. Dre wasn't around, so Jeremiah Robinson and his son did it. He did an outstanding job. Mookie and Dre, they're cooking up some stuff. Monday Night Madness, Tuesdays,
You're breaking
the
up
Vault,
really bad. It
the
made you
trivia, TODT. Make sure y'all are.
Thanks, dog.
Also, make sure. What is her show? She's gonna be doing her show on our time slot. Make sure y'all check her out. Let's talk about it. I forget the name of her show, but just please, if you could show support to everybody in the group. We're gonna be doing some moving around and stuff like that. But you'll see me and Ramona around. We'll be around, popping our head in the shows and stuff like that. We're cooking up some stuff and working on some stuff. So even next year will be even better. But we're gonna have one more show next week to wrap everything up in the Super Bowl, Super Bowl wrap up show and all that award show and stuff like that. So, Ramona, you got anything else for them out there?
Just want to tell everybody thanks for tuning in and showing your support. We appreciate it. Wouldn't be here without you guys, and we hope you guys enjoy and keep coming back. And we'll have our wrap up show next week, and then gonna have a few changes when we come back for the following season, for this coming season. With our logo and
let's talk
about yeah. Have a web
all
page.
that good stuff. Ramona, she's making up. Ramona, she's making up. We're gonna have a web page for the Alphabet Show. Let's talk about it with Christina. She's gonna be in our time slot in here, so make sure you guys are giving her your support. Her and Dre, they're gonna be. It's gonna be more of a socially minded show, so make sure y'all give them that support. You'll see me and Ramona, we're always around.
TODT Live is still going to be going on.
Definitely. So the Lambeau Leap show and all that stuff. Some of the shows will be taking a hiatus, but we'll be, like I said, we'll be around. We'll be chopping it up. You'll see us on different shows and stuff like that, talking a little smiggity.
And Dog just said that they usually have Jawu when wrestling pay-per-view comes on. So that's when they have their show. So
Rise Up Unlimited, the Rise Up Unlimited radio show. Dre, he's cooking that up. So there's a lot of stuff out there.
We are bringing back our Rise Up Unlimited football show.
Definitely. Definitely. So make sure y'all are doing that. And beside that, make sure you enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll be in the chat rooms, in the Rise Up chat room.
What are you having for your Super Bowl meal?
I'm probably gonna have some wings. I'll probably be right up here. I'm gonna get me some wings and some celery sticks and some ranch dressing. I'll probably be right here, and that's about. During the Super Bowl, I'll be locked in. I like to see everything. I like to see.
I'm making homemade chili.
You making some chili?
I am making barbecue chicken wings, and my specialty jalapeno poppers.
Ooh.
Yep.
I might. This is my son's last weekend here. I might have to light up this grill. I might have to light it up. He keeps saying.
Oh, and barbecue.
Cannot cook, so I'm gonna have to rough him up on the grill.
Barbecue as well.
That's about it.
I forgot about it yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll be back next week, same time. Last show. Please make sure y'all are come through. And we'll be taking a little hiatus for a couple of months, but we'll be around and just thank you for everything. And I hope everybody has a good night. Everybody's safe out there, and we will see y'all one more time next week. This has been an Alphabet's Football Talk Show with the Rise Up family. Y'all have a good night, okay?